our number one job is to protect our kids. So one death is one too many. It really is a life-threatening thing. Heat illness, another thing, is 100% preventable. And so those two things, back to back, make you think, well, like we have to go solve this. 50% of kids show up to practice dehydrated. So there's a lot of things. This whole idea of pushing and invisible symptoms are things that, are just they're not going for us when it comes to the heat. The one thing that I haven't talked much about is the core body temperature. So I didn't really know much about this, but your core body temperature is the temperature of your organs and blood. And that's why the common gold standard is a rectal thermometer. So core body temperature is ultimately the biggest input into heat strain. So what HeatSense does is we've kind of solved all those problems with a technology out of Switzerland that can measure core body temperature. And it's a non-invasive wearable. So in other words, it's a fitness tracker. So you can wear it on your bicep, you can wear it on a chest strap, and we will monitor in real time a few vitals. We'll monitor your core body temperature, your skin temperature, and your heart rate. And so we take those vitals and we turn them into insights so that you can basically stay in the zone. And what you're ultimately doing is if you're proactively managing your heat, you actually are optimizing. You get the performance for.
Does the device, while you're wearing it, you're checking your stats, you're measuring, that way you can then go into the appropriate protocol of getting hydrated or so on and so forth.
Yeah. So we have apps for individual athletes, and then we're about to launch our team dashboard, which will allow us to measure, up to like 100 players on a field at the same time. And we send data to an iPad on the sidelines. And so I do think that because every body is unique, the personal feedback will be part of the conversation. So for example, I've worn our HeatSense enough to know exactly where my breaking point is. And so I can proactively see my heat strain rising and know when I need to stop in order to be able to finish my workout. And so that's what everybody's looking for, right? Is like one athlete may have, the ability to have a higher core body temperature and perform great, and another may not. And so, dialogue's always going to be part of the human body and how someone's feeling. And you look at the data and have conversations, both the app and the dashboard, you can set up thresholds and alerts. So there are default thresholds we set based on the science, but depending on the feedback from the athlete, you can set those at different spots, and we'll basically alert you when an athlete's crossed